Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Sunday. It is April the 10th, 2016. I'm going to look at the stakes races 3 and races 8. Before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for full card selections. Today's third race and eighth race are some very good stakes races. Third race is the top flight, got canceled last Sunday. They brought it back this week, and race 8 is a turf race. I don't expect it to be on the turf course, but you never know. I'm going to give out a turf selection and a main track only selection. But let's get on to race number 3, the first stakes race on the program. It is the 76th edition of the Top Flight Handicap, Handicap. For Grade 3 purse, $200,000, a handicap for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We only have 5 horses in this one. I believe there were 7 last time out, last week actually, but some of them didn't come back for a mile and 8. They're traveling. And I'm going to go with the same horse I would have went with last week, and that's going to be the 2-horse America. Really like this horse. Gets a better post position draw today than she would have gotten last week. Last week, I believe this horse was on the outside. Today, gets the inside of the 2-hole. Going to keep this horse on top of a trifecta key for 50 cents. Going to go 2 with the 3-5 for 50 cents. Going to cost you $1. Number 2, America, owned by Bobby Flay, trained by Belmont, ridden by Irod Ortiz Jr. 4-1 last time out. Hasn't started since the 27th of November. 1 mile to go for 1. Grade 3 event that day at Aqueduct. Excuse me. Finished 5th by 9 1/4 lengths that day. The winner Terrace was winner of his next start, her next start out, and Mei Ling is running back into this race also. This horse was wide all throughout. Really couldn't get into it. Not the horse's best star. Then at Belmont, a mile 16th, and turned back the alarm stakes. Won by 1.5 lengths. Was on the lead all throughout with Chris DiCarlo up that thing. Really, really ran really well. And then they ran this horse in the Flower Bowl Invitational at Belmont, mile and a quarter on the Widener turf course. And this horse just did nothing. It finished 8th by 41 3/4 lengths. It was a very waterlogged turf course. If it was overseas, the turf course would have been probably rated heavy instead of soft because it was just so wet. I just remember that weekend so vividly. And then in the personal ensign at Saratoga, mile and 8th, this horse finished 5th by 4 lengths that day. It wasn't the horse's best run. The winner, Sheer Drama, I believe, won yesterday at Keeneland. So, I'm going to go with this one here. The one going around 2 turns is a little iffy. I would like this horse if this horse was running at Belmont around that 1 turn, mile and an 8th. It would be a lot better. But going around 2 turns, I think this horse should really do well. Won on the inner track in early 2015 in 100,000 stakes race in mile 16th, won by nose, and won an official 6-2 claimer at around 2 turns on the inner track. So I'm gonna go with this one here. Looks very hard to beat here. 4-1, better price than 6-5 or 2-1 here. So to recap my bets for the top flight and the handicap here from Aqueduct race number 3, gonna go with the 2-horse Merca. Gonna go with that horse. Gonna go 2 with the 3-5 for 50 cents. This trifecta key should cost you $1. So now let's get on to race number 8. And like I said before, we did get some rain here in the New York area. Well, a lot of bit of rain, and it is cold out right now. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning. So and it's like about 32 degrees. So we might have some frost on the floor. So I'm expecting there not to be turf racing. That's why I'm giving you a main track only selection, but I'm going to put the turf selection because you never know. Stranger things have happened where they're going to run turf racing. But the 8th race, first turf stake of the year from Aqueduct, it's the second running of the Dangers Hour Stakes, purse $100,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses. The 2 horses main track only, so main track only that will run. Going a mile here on the turf course. Doubt it, but they're going a mile on the turf course, most likely a 1-turn mile. And my top selection here, if it's going to be on the turf course, is going to be 8-horse Takeover Target. If it's not on turf course, my main track only selection is going to be the 6-horse. Who is Mosler. But number 8, Takeover Target, my turf selection, 7-5, Irod Ortiz Jr. Last time out, a mile and 8th at Gulfstream Park in the Gulfstream Park Turf Handicap. This horse finished 4th by 2.5 lengths, was second all throughout, and just had, couldn't get up there that day, didn't have that late closing surge. Then at Gulfstream Park, mile 16th in the Fort Lauderdale Stakes. This horse finished 5th by 2 lengths that day. Had a horrible trip, was drew wide the second turn, had to check at the 8th pole, got up there for 5th, but it was a whole, wide finish. The winner of that day, Heart to Heart, and second place to finish, Luke's Alley was a winner of their next start out. And then the Hill Prince here, actually at Belmont. I forgot we're still at Aqueduct. Belmont opens in a few weeks. And the Hill Prince at Belmont, a very waterlogged turf course. If they run on turf course, that's kind of what turf course they're going to get probably. This horse finished won that day, but 1 3/4 length. Really ran really well. Has never run on this turf course at Aqueduct. I think this horse should really do well. It was facing a lot tougher horses down in South Florida, and those graded company onto an overnight company. This horse should really do well if it's on turf. But my main track only selection is going to be the 6 horse Mosler, 10-1 with John Velasquez for Belmont. This horse hasn't started since the 14th of September, 9:14. Some of you who know me will get that reference. And the Kentucky Turf Dash Stakes for $180,000. Finished 6 by 6 1/4 lengths. His horse, was wide all throughout and really couldn't get into it. Then the Highlander Stakes at Woodbine's 3/4 mile on the turf on Queen's Plate Day. His horse finished third by 1/2 lengths. Really, he didn't have a great trip, but he had a little, he didn't look like he had a lot left at the end of the race. So I don't know what the problem was that though. But this horse is, dirt record is really good, and a wet course. He's handled the wet course, especially here at Aqueduct back in 2014. The 27th of November, to be exact, of 2014, Optional 62 Claimer, 9 was a 1. This horse won by 1/2 lengths, basically, underneath the lead all throughout and was clear into the stretch. And then on dirt, this horse is pretty solid. He won a race at Belmont, going around the 1 mile turn at 1 turn mile at Belmont. He's very solid on dirt. I think this horse is a better dirt horse by looking at it than a turf horse. They were running this horse in some very tough competition. Coming to this spot today, if it's taken off turf, going to be my top selection. If this horse is 10-1, if it's on the dirt, if they keep this horse on dirt, of course, which I expect them to do because he's done really well. If he's 10-1 at the when the gates open, I'll be shocked. I have a feeling this horse might be one of the favorites. By time post time when it gets taken off turf. So to recap my bets for race number 8 from Aqueduct, it is the Danger's Hour Stakes. I'm gonna go with the 8 horse if the race is on the turf. If the race is taken off the turf for the if it's run on the main track, my main track only selection is gonna be the 6 horse. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.